YouTube, what is crack-a-lackin'? Scott from SemiPro here. Today, we're talking about the scratch that, Las Vegas Raiders, specifically their new quarterback, Marcus Mariota, who might not be the starter, who might end up being the starter, who might end up being the long-term future of their franchise, or might end up being a free agent next offseason. We don't know yet. But anyways, I really do like this Marcus Mariota signing for the Las Vegas Raiders for a few reasons. We'll get into those, but before I start the video, I do want to ask you guys, please go click that thumbs up button. It really does help us out a lot. So, if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. We post awesome sports content every single day. NFL, NBA, MLB, college sports, every single day here on SemiPro. So if you're a sports nerd and you like just fun sports talk, subscribe here. This is the channel for you. All right, let's get into this Marcus Mariota thing. Marcus Mariota is still 26 years old, okay? He's still young. He's had a few years under his belt. Maybe things haven't gone quite according to plan, but he's still very good. One of the best college quarterbacks of all time. Had a great sophomore season in the NFL. Has a playoff win. Has done a lot of good things in his NFL career, but there's been a lot of inconsistency, which is the reason that Ryan Tannehill was ultimately chosen over him last season for the Titans, which was the right move, by the way. I am a Marcus Mariota fan, but for the Titans, that was the right move. The biggest thing with Marcus, and the thing that I think will help him the most, is I think he needs a change of scenery. In Tennessee, I felt like he was starting to get doubted by his team, by his new head coach in Mike Vrabel, by the organization. I just felt like Mariota's time had come to an end in Tennessee. Nothing wrong with that. Every relationship must end at some point in one way or another. And with Marcus, the doubt just started to creep in, which really doesn't help a more timid guy like him who really needs a lot of people in his corner helping him out when it comes to confidence. But when it comes to talent, he doesn't need any help. He's an explosive runner, in my opinion, a top 3 running quarterback in football. He may not have been utilizing that to the best of his abilities, but he is a crazy good runner of the football, very good at improv, has a lot of good things about his game, and at age 26, it's not over. He can still develop other aspects of his game, become a more accurate passer, a more consistent passer. He can tighten up that deep ball a little bit because, in just all honesty, his balls, no, I don't like that word choice. His passes don't look that great all the time, so he could definitely use a little bit of tightening up there in terms of his mechanics. But as far as a pure talent standpoint, Marcus Mariota has it all. This change of scenery is really going to help him. He struggles with the confidence a little bit. He's a little bit timid. I don't mind that. Is it ideal for an NFL quarterback? Absolutely not, but I don't think it is the end of the world because he has proven that he can be a good starting quarterback and a guy who can win playoff games. He has done those things, and I think his timidness and his leadership skills are a little bit overblown in the grand scheme of things. Is he a fiery leader? No, but I still trust him to go out there and play quarterback for my football team. This change of scenery, though, it's going to be huge. Now he has a coach and a GM who are in his corner, who want him to succeed and want to help him develop. Keep in mind, Mike Mayock, who was on TV when Marcus Mariota was entering the NFL draft, on air said that Marcus Mariota was the best player in that draft, above Jameis Winston, who was the very popular choice for that title that year. Both of these guys like Marcus Mariota, and they want him to succeed, and they want to put the right pieces around him in order for that to happen. Now that he's away from Tennessee, he can get a fresh start, just like he's kind of getting drafted all over again. Again, he's still 26, still a very young player with a bright future ahead of him. It's almost like he's getting drafted again, coming into a new system for the first time, new head coach, new team, new city. This is perfect for Marcus because I really felt like his relationship with Tennessee has just been deteriorating over the past couple of seasons. Marcus seems to agree with me that a change of scenery will be really good for him. After he signed with the Raiders this offseason, he said in an interview, "For me, my priorities in free agency were to, 1, find a stable head coach and stability within the organization, and secondly, for me, was just to find a team that I felt comfortable with and that I felt could help me reach my potential and become the best player that I could be. Well, I don't think he could have chosen a better team. Gruden loves developing his Gruden Warriors, and Mayock is a great talent evaluator. They both believe in this guy. Marcus believes in them as coaches. They believe he will help him reach his potential. This was a match made in heaven. So it's no guarantee that Mariota will even play a game for the Raiders this season, because right now, Derek Carr is the starter. And I don't want any Raiders fans out there to take this video as shade towards Derek Carr. It's not. I actually think he's a pretty underrated quarterback, has put up great numbers his whole career. Very good quarterback with a lot of positives about his game. But as far as John Gruden goes, I don't think Carr is Gruden's guy. There have been reports of rifts between the two. Neither of them really seem to like each other's play style. There have been trade rumors circulating. I just don't think Derek Carr is the guy that John Gruden wants playing quarterback for his team long term. I think he would rather have one of his guys that he gets to groom, that he gets to pick up, because John Gruden, as we know, we've seen it from his draft choices, really likes his guys. He doesn't really care what other people think about them. He just wants the guys that he think fit in his system well, and obviously he thinks that way of Mariota after picking him up this offseason. Carr will almost certainly have the starting job going into the season, but I don't think he's going to have that long of a leash, especially in the AFC West, where things are bound to get turbulent. If Carr struggles, if he gets hurt, I think Mariota takes over right away, and after they make that switch, I don't think there's any going back. I do think this is the guy Las Vegas wants to commit to long term, and they would much rather have him playing quarterback than Derek Carr. Marcus may never reach that full potential that he had coming into the NFL, where people thought he'd be this insanely great, perennial MVP caliber guy. He might never reach that, but I do think in Las Vegas he can develop himself into a great player for the West Coast system in Las Vegas, and he can really rewrite the storybook of his career. It's on a downhill trend right now, but I think him and Gruden can work together to make that downhill trend an uphill trend. Even if this is just a jumping off point for Marcus to end up finding a starting job with another team, I really like this signing. It gives the Raiders a second option behind Derek Carr and a guy they could potentially commit to long term. It gives Marcus a place to find a change of scenery and refine his confidence, refine that style of play that helped him become the second pick of the NFL draft in the first place. And the Raiders are getting him for a steal of a deal right now, so I think this is a great deal for all sides involved, really regardless of how Mariota actually plays. I think it's giving everybody a good chance to do what they want to do. I'm stoked for Mariota that he got this opportunity. I'm stoked for Las Vegas. This is going to be a fun year, and I'm very much looking forward to see how this situation plays out. If you enjoyed this video, again, click that thumbs up button. Really does help us out a lot. If you're new to the channel, again, subscribe. If you aren't, you're just missing out. Simple as that. But thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you next video.